Dum Dudes,
Dum Dudes, Deep Thoughts.
3DT. Actually, we got three. We
3DT,
got three Dum Dudes today.
three dumb dudes coming at you.
I have never been so honored to be a dumb dude.
We got
DUM, my friend. DUM. And I have a question, Stu.
Yeah.
Are we finally over your technical difficulties with your interwebs?
This is the first time I've ever had any difficulties on recording a podcast.
So
Only you.
Anybody who listens to next week's podcast will probably beg to differ.
What are we talking about today?
We're talking about Shema.
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 What is Shema? What does that mean?
Shema it's awesome, dude. So we are holding each other accountable to read the Bible in a year. This is the third time we've done this, I think.
Yes, sir.
Which is incredible. It shows the power of accountability. I had never gotten through it before, probably for 20 years trying to read the Bible. And then the last 3 years, we've been doing this kind of annual thing with a group of dudes. And this is the third time through, but this time is cool because the plan includes some videos from the Bible Project, who are awesome organization that gets on the YouTubes, and they put out some super informative videos, very well done. I love them. But the one that we listened to yesterday, I believe, was the deep dive into some word studies, and the word we're talking about is Shema, or the word they were talking about. And I'll tell you, man, I was moved by it because it talks about how two sides of the same coin are listening. Shema is listening and doing. And what I loved about it is it really emphasized the action verb of listening, the intentionality of when you listen, it's something that you're actively doing. It's not this passive exercise that words are floating, and if they make their way in your ears, and you're lucky, and if they don't, that's just the nature of you not being a good listener. It's very active. You're taking an active role in it, and it emphasizes the importance of doing that, whether it's a preacher, whether you're reading the Bible, you're listening to something, whether it's your business partner who drones on and on and on and is just super annoying, whether it's whether it's your wife, your kids, whatever it is. When you listen, you have a responsibility to action. But I also love equally the element of doing. A lot of us listen, we get education, or we think we're listening. We hear, we get education. We inundate ourselves with all these different things, and then we do nothing about it. And whether we call it analysis paralysis or whatever our excuse is, we do nothing with the things that we've gained because we didn't actively listen first off, and then we didn't take action on it to complete the complete action, right? So I love this idea of Shema, and that's what really resonated with me.
Well, I think it goes beyond just the doing, because they take it a step further and say that, hey, it's obeying. You're listening, you're hearing, and then you're obeying what God is telling you to do. You're keeping the covenant between you and God, and you're responding to that here. What you're hearing, you're taking action on it, you're doing it, and you're obeying. And it kind of made me think of like kind of what you alluded to is like with your kids and your spouse. And I tell my son all the time, like, hey, Wells, be a good listener, be a good listener. Maybe I should just tell him to, hey, Shema, but like, be a good listener and obey, like listen to your dad. Right. But it also, what came to mind was another quote in the Bible, in James 1:19. And it says, be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to anger. And those two kind of fit a little bit, because we want to be quick to listen, but sometimes even that action of Shema doesn't mean you have to speak. And it definitely means that you don't have to get angry. And so sometimes that action is just shut up, right? Don't say anything, but act, obey, do, through what you're going into your ears. And so that kind of resonated with me quite a bit.
Yeah, dude, I love that. And just real quick thought on that. So for someone like me, that is very difficult, like in all honesty, to shut up, to not react, to not get angry, to not have a hair trigger, all these things. This really resonates, like you said, to shut up and practice. You preach, 2 ears, 1 mouth. Maybe you should give that due consideration. why you have double the number of ears as you do a mouth. So I think
Yeah.
that's awesome.
Yeah, I think, when we were listening to this morning, Stu, and stuff, that one of the things that kind of crossed my mind or kind of like popped out to me was about my family, and so as you guys kind of mentioned that a little bit too, and like as it talked about the listening and stuff, I just was thinking about the amount of times throughout every day that maybe my spouse is talking to me or my kids, right, and I'm kind of distracted, whether I'd say I was like washing the dishes or something, but that probably wasn't happening, but doing something.
You're on TikTok.
Yeah, TikTok, and my wife is speaking to me and I'm on my phone, or the kids are, kids want our time, even if it's just a couple minutes and they're trying to talk to me or something, and I'm distracted on my computer or whatever it is. And so a lot of times we hear them speaking, but we're not really listening to what they're saying.
Mhm.
And so I think that was like a kind of a good lesson to me, is like, if I can't do both of those at one time, I need to stop the action and actually like, look at them, kind of listen, understand. And as you said, sometimes it's just listen.
Yeah.
Or sometimes there's a message in there that, in them speaking, they are asking you to do something else. And kind of, talking about the Bible and stuff that I hear, like the other thing I kind of thought about was we pray and stuff, a lot of times we're asking God for things and stuff. And then we just expect this like response, or for him to take care of things. And, sometimes he's speaking back to us, but are we actually, quieting down, or like, losing other distractions and actually like listening for that response? Maybe he's responded. Maybe he's sent us a message and we just weren't listening.
It's good, dude. Maybe
That's
we need to
real
have
good.
maybe we need to have Marcus on for more of these dumb dudes. I don't know. It's pretty good.
Yeah, he's real dumb. He's real
Yeah.
dumb and deep.
Dumb.
Dumb.
Yeah.
and deep.
Hey, and I think you also, when somebody's listening to you, right? You know when they're either listening to you, or when they're tolerating the words coming out of your mouth, waiting for them to stop so they can then speak, right? And we've all been guilty of this. But I think if you're very intentional with the fact that, okay, I'm in listening mode right now, it can also change relationships, whether it's your relationship with, like you said, your relationship with God. You can hear the response. Obviously, it's not going to be an audible response, but there are many responses. You can get a picture response. You can get, a feeling. You can get, if you're in a quiet time, real responses from God, I believe. But also from your wife and your friends, and to have the skill of being a good listener, what a great compliment that is, right? I mean, it would be amazing if they're like, man, that person David just listens well. I don't know if I've ever heard that, but I do think it's important, and it's a goal, and it's something to strive for. And then, man, again, take action, do something about it. Don't just let it be, if your wife is telling you something, or your kids are telling you something, or God is guiding you and telling you something, do something about it, because it's still, that's still part of it, right? That's still part of the entire action. So that's awesome. I love it. Deep thoughts.
Deep Thoughts by 3 Dumb Dudes. Hey, go check it out. We'll post the video about Shema. Hey, do a deep dive, check it out, and challenge yourself to be a better listener. And go fill your storehouse, and go have an amazing day, and don't be dumb.
But if you're dumb, make sure that if you're dumb, you're deep. And if you're deep, well, don't be dumb and not deep. Write that down.
See ya.